Hey everyone, Brendan Snyder here. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me and welcome to another episode of New Music Finds. So this is where I collect together everything that I've purchased over the past week and present it to you. And of course I get it from different places like my local record stores, but also online retail like Amazon, eBay, and more. I've got 14 different things to run through with you. That is including a couple box sets and stuff. So lots and lots of new music for me this past week, and I'm going to break it all down for you here in just a bit. But before I get started, if you're new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And of course, as an added bonus, by subscribing, you'll be able to stay up to date on all that's going on in the world of music. I say that a little bit of tongue in cheek here, of course, but you will be up to date on these kind of cool videos about the latest things that I'm picking up, which always include new releases. And that's what I like to kick off with here. So if nothing else, you get to find out about some new releases and stuff, and then just other cool random things that I find when I'm out, and I have a lot of fun doing it. And I think you guys enjoy those let's go to the record store video type things where I get to show all that sort of stuff, because I think we're all just, you know, a kid in a candy store when we're in a music store. And first thing I picked up here, which made me very happy, was a brand new Stevie Nicks box set. I have done a full review of this. This is the complete studio albums and rarities. And I gave my opinion on it, and I'm mixed. I mean, I'm enjoying this thing, but I had to buy this whole box set just to get, and I'll pull it out here, one of these discs, which is the rarities disc. So I bought a $70 Amazon box to get this. Just these two CDs, $35 a piece if you want to think about it that way. It's like buying two Japanese imports or something. But all the tracks that are on here are studio recordings. They're all fully realized, meaning they're not demos or early takes or anything of that nature. They're from soundtracks, B-sides, tribute albums, best of, you know, bonus tracks from Japan, that kind of stuff. Very, very cool. 22 tracks. For me, I felt it was worth it. I know a lot of you are on the fence about it. I will leave a link to that full review in the description below. You too can think about it and decide if it is worth it for you. All right, another one that came out, Girls School, WTF 45, brand new album from them. It's been a little while since we've gotten a brand new original album from them, and they sound so good. So 45 years on, these ladies are still sounding amazing. I had to return the copy that I had because it ended up being damaged once I opened it. So that's why you see this one is still sealed. I just haven't cracked back into it. But I've listened to it a bunch of times already and really, really enjoyed it. When I'd ordered that, I went ahead and picked up something that I'd seen the previous week. And so I just got this one in. I haven't cracked into it yet, but I'm going to get ready and enjoy this. Bang, well, the band is called Bang, and it is called Another Me. If you're not familiar with Bang, they're sort of one of those proto-metal bands from the early 70s that were really starting things out kind of in the vein of Black Sabbath, and then they made a few albums, kind of disappeared. Well, this is all three original members back for a brand new album in 2023. That really excited me, and so of course I had to pick that up. Now I found that while I was doing one of those What Just Dropped videos. So those are turning out to be really beneficial for me, and I hope you guys are finding some cool things in those. That's where I'm going through, for those of you that don't know, where I'm going through all the stuff that just came out on release day and post it for you guys, and I'm always finding things. And so I found that one the previous week. Well, this week I showed these, and I didn't know these were being issued. These are two reissues on the High Roller Records label. This is Rhett Forester, former vocalist with Riot, and Jack Starr, of course, with Burning Star, but also formerly with Virgin Steel. And so these are cool. They have slip cases, a different album cover on the inside for that Jack Starr. Same one on the Rhett Forester, although on the back side of it you get a different thing. And so this one's good. This also features Rhett Forester on vocals here. And it features the bassist and drummer from the New York-based band The Rods. So quite the little supergroup there on that first Jack Starr solo album. First thing he did, '84, after leaving Virgin Steel. But this one turned out to be the cherry. This one here sounds so good in my opinion. It's a 1988 second solo album from Rhett Forester. There are a lot of keyboards in it. It is 80s metal, but I absolutely love it. I fell in love with this. I've just been playing this thing nonstop. If that sounds appealing to you, go look this up. I'd steered clear of that album for years, and I don't know why. Didn't click with me at the time or whatever, but I put it on now, and it was just absolutely the most perfect thing. This is one that I debated on forever back in the early 2000s when it first came out, and I'm only just now picking it up. Greg Raleigh's solo album called Roots from 2001. So hard to come by these days. Costs an arm and a leg off of eBay. I found somebody who was selling a group a lot of records or albums, and I think it was 5 or 6. All I was interested in was this one. I owned all the other ones, so I actually bought it. It's 20 bucks, and I said, just send to Greg Raleigh, keep the others, I don't want them. So he's probably put those back up, gonna make 20 bucks on those, and whatever. It is what it is. I just had no desire to have duplicates of those. And I don't even remember what they were, but they weren't even great albums that I wanted another copy of or a remaster or anything of that nature. So I just told the guy to keep them. Anyway, good album. So this is a throwback to the Santana stuff that he was doing originally. That's why it's called Roots. And at the time, I wasn't into that style of the Greg Raleigh. I wanted Journey sounding Greg Raleigh, and this wasn't it. Now that I've recently gotten into Santana, you saw from the New Music Now episode I did earlier, I picked up these 2 Santana albums to add to the only 2 that I had, which was the self-titled debut album. I think that was 68, and the Santana 4, which was the reunion of Greg Raleigh, Neil Schon, both from Journey, along with the other players that had played on, and I think it was albums around the period of Abraxas and 1 and 3 in there. And then this album here also features Neil Schon on it. But yeah, I've never owned this. This is an absolute classic album. Everybody talks about it. You see it everywhere. It's got this amazing art on it. And I finally added it to my collection. So I've been getting into Santana. I also picked up Beyond Appearances, a 1985 album. And I have to say, out of all the Santana I own so far, I'm loving this one the most out of everything. But then you guys know I'm an 80s guy. So, of course, I'm going to love that stuff. I'm actually going to head out today and pick up some more Santana from the 80s. So next week you'll be seeing that sort of stuff. While I was there, that was a Sound Exchange purchase. I picked up also a best of, and I specifically picked up this one and not one of the 2 CD or Ultimate ones, because this one stops, I think it's at 1998, and that is before the albums that Carlos Santana started recording with all the pop singers of the day. That's just not something I'm interested in, and I know those are huge selling albums for him, and he's totally due that respect and that level, and the critical recognition that he got out of doing those. And that song, I think it was called Smooth, with Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20, just, I don't know, didn't do it for me. Probably later on I'll enjoy it and I'll get into those, but right now I'm just looking for some straight up Santana stuff. So I was very glad there was a best of that covered a big area of his career, but actually stopped right before that release, so that I just got real Santana band stuff and not all these outside singers and stuff. Recently, I noticed that a few of the artists that I have albums from had done cover songs of somebody named Frankie Miller, British singer. I think he's British, but maybe he's Scottish. I'm not sure, and I apologize for not knowing entirely. But European or UK related singer. And I have an album from the lead vocalist of the Choir Boys, Spike, and it's called 100% Pure Frankie Miller, which I've always enjoyed. All the songs are Frankie Miller songs. So I finally picked up a Frankie Miller album, Easy Money. I'm really enjoying this. His stuff is really hard to come by. This one here used was 16 bucks, but I went ahead and shelled out for it because I really wanted to check some stuff out. I liked this one digitally when I was listening to it. It's got a bit of the, I think this is 1980. Yep. 1980 release, so it's got a bit of the disco flavor to it. It's kind of soul R&B disco flavored with Rolling Stone style rock and roll. So if you know what the Choir Boys sound like and you've never listened to Frankie Miller, this is probably where they got their inspiration and everything from. Bands like this, The Faces, of course the Rolling Stones and stuff like that. But I'm new to Frankie Miller and I'm really enjoying that, and I'm going to definitely be hunting down some more. One of the other box sets I picked up was a Virgin Steel box set, now out of print. This is called Seven Devils Moonshine. And when it was released, it had 3 albums of new studio material on it. I think it was a double album plus this one that is called Anthems or something. Let me open this thing up here. So it's a clamshell box, which is really cool. And again, with the oversized box, I didn't mention that on the Stevie Nicks, but it's an oversized box for CDs, and I don't really understand why they do it, why they don't do the one that's the small size. So if we push that over like that, they could have made this box a lot smaller. But in here we got the double album, Ghost Harvest 1 and 2. Then we got Gothic Voodoo Anthems. Those are 3 albums worth of new material. Then there are 2 best ofs in here, Hymns to a Victory and The Book of Burning. And so 2 greatest hits albums, 3 albums of new material, all in this box together. I think it was $23, and it was still sealed in plastic. Came out in 2018, so it's 5 years ago. It's the last Virgin Steel album before the new one, something of Dionysus. I apologize, I forget the full title, but brand new Virgin Steel had just come out. This was the previous one from 5 years ago, which is why I picked it up. There's the back side of it. Great deal, $23 for those 5 albums. And then a couple additional eBay purchases. Ken Hensley, Live Fire Trouble, second studio album that he recorded with his band Live Fire. I liked the first one, it was good, but this one here is really good. This one here sounded fantastic. I just loved all of the songs on here. Made a little bit more, when I say poppy, I don't mean that in a negative way, but just a little bit more upbeat. Straight up rock and roll, better keyboards, all that sort of stuff from Ken on here. These songs just grabbed me more than the first one did. And the only album I was missing from my Axe collection, you guys saw I recently bought a box set, picked up some other stuff, so I finally got this Crown. It's the last album I was missing. I think this one is from around early 2000s, 2001 give or take, somewhere in that era, could be wrong. Might be like 2004. Date's not on the back of that one. So, but I'm glad I got it. I completed my Axe collection, and I've really been enjoying all this sort of stuff. So, you know, you can see it. It's a cross between early 70s rock on through early 80s metal into some present day albums from these classic artists from the 70s and 80s, but a nice swath of stuff. 14 things I picked up, but this has 5 CDs in it. This has 10 CDs in it, and then you got everything else that's here. So, I mean, just all in all, a ton of stuff here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and maybe again you got some ideas out of this stuff to go search out for yourself, or you found out if you want to do one of these new releases or something like that. But that's kind of the point of these things, not just to show off the stuff I got, but to hopefully inspire you, you know, turn something on your head, make you decide to go pull out something from your collection or whatever. But of course, we all just love sharing our new finds from the music store, and that's what this is here. So thank you for watching another episode of New Music Finds. I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll be talking to you all real soon. Bye-bye, everyone.